She didn't move. Something moved her first. A sharp, cold pull snapped through the hollow inside her chest. Not a tug, not a command, but a claim, like something inside her had decided she'd been still long enough. Her body jerked upright. Not slowly, not naturally. A sudden, violent lift that dragged her spine into alignment before her mind caught up. Her breath stuttered, not from fear, but from the shock of being repositioned like she was an object someone had set down wrong. The dark in front of her shifted. Not a shape, not a figure, a presence, sliding forward with a smoothness that felt intentional, like it had been waiting for her to wake so it could continue what it started. Her chest tightened. The thing inside her answered. A cold, mechanical pull snapped her head to the side, forcing her gaze toward the movement. Her muscles didn't resist. They simply followed, limp and obedient, like they'd already accepted they weren't in charge. The presence leaned closer, not approaching, arriving. A pale surface slid out of the dark, smooth, unfinished, twitching in small, precise spasms like invisible hands were shaping it from the inside. A mouth formed first, stretching into a flat, too wide line that didn't open, didn't speak, didn't breathe. It just waited. Her pulse hammered. The thing inside her reacted instantly. A sharp pull snapped her forward, dragging her closer to the unfinished face like she was being offered to it. Her feet didn't step. Her legs didn't brace. Her body just moved, carried by the cold shape inside her like it was guiding her into position. The face twitched. A line split across the surface. Not a smile, not a snarl. An opening. Her breath collapsed. The thing inside her didn't. It pulled again, and she moved toward the face that wasn't finished forming, a face that looked like it had been waiting for her to wake up so it could decide what to do with her next. The opening on the unfinished face didn't widen. It tightened, like it was bracing for something it expected her to do. She didn't move. The thing inside her did. A sharp, cold pull snapped through her chest, dragging her forward in a motion that felt less like walking and more like being delivered. Her breath stuttered, not from fear, but from the shock of being positioned like she was a piece of material something else needed to work with. The opening twitched. Not a mouth, not a wound. A slot, adjusting itself to match the angle of her forced approach. Her pulse hammered. The thing inside her answered instantly. A violent tug snapped her head upward, forcing her gaze into the center of the opening. Her neck didn't resist. Her muscles didn't hesitate. Her body simply aligned, like it had been waiting for the exact moment to fit into whatever shape the face wanted. The opening shifted. A thin line of movement rippled across its edges, not forming lips, not forming teeth, just tightening into a shape that looked like it was preparing to receive something. Her breath collapsed. The thing inside her didn't. A cold, mechanical pull dragged her closer, her body moving with a precision that felt rehearsed, inevitable. Her shoulders locked. Her spine straightened. Her jaw tightened. The opening reacted. It widened by a fraction, not enough to be welcoming, not enough to be threatening. Just enough to show it was responding to her. Her pulse spiked. The face twitched again. This time, the movement wasn't shaping itself. It was shaping her. A sudden, brutal pull snapped through her ribs, forcing her posture into a new angle, one she didn't choose, one she didn't understand, one her body accepted without question. The opening widened again, not because it needed to, because it wanted to. Her breath broke into fragments. The thing inside her pulled again, and she moved toward the opening like she was being guided into a space that had been waiting for her shape all along. The opening didn't wait for her to reach it. It reacted before she moved. A sharp ripple snapped across its edges, not widening, not closing, just tightening into a shape that looked like it already knew what her next motion would be. The thing inside her answered instantly, a cold pull snapping through her chest like it was trying to drag her into a position she hadn't even thought about yet. Her head tilted, not because she chose to, because something inside her predicted she would. The opening shifted in perfect sync. A thin line of movement slid across its surface, adjusting itself to match the angle of her forced posture. It wasn't copying her, it wasn't responding to her, it was anticipating her. Her breath stuttered. The thing inside her didn't hesitate. A sudden, brutal pull snapped her shoulders forward, dragging her closer to the opening with a precision that felt rehearsed, like her body was following a sequence it had never learned but somehow already knew. The opening widened by a fraction. Not enough to be welcoming, not enough to be threatening, just enough to show it was ready. Her pulse hammered. The face twitched again, a small, sharp spasm that rearranged the edges of the opening into a new configuration, one that didn't match anything human. It wasn't forming a mouth. It wasn't forming a feature. It was forming a reaction. Her body jerked. A sharp twist of her neck. A sudden lift of her chin. A tightening of her jaw. None of it hers. The thing inside her dragged the movements out of her like it was trying to match the opening's shape before the opening even finished forming it. The opening widened again. This time, it wasn't waiting. It was inviting. Her breath collapsed. The thing inside her didn't. It pulled again, and she moved toward the opening like she was being drawn into a space that had already decided exactly how she would fit. The opening didn't wait for her to reach it. It moved first. A sudden, violent contraction rippled across its edges, not shrinking, not closing, but tightening into a shape that looked like it was preparing to wrap around something that wasn't there yet. Her breath stuttered. The thing inside her answered instantly. A cold, mechanical pull snapped through her chest, dragging her forward with a force that felt less like movement and more like being claimed. Her muscles didn't resist. Her bones didn't hesitate. Her body simply followed, like it had already surrendered the idea of choosing. The opening widened, not smoothly, not naturally, in sharp, twitching increments, like invisible hands were pulling it apart from the inside, adjusting it to match the angle of her forced approach. Her pulse hammered. The thing inside her reacted. A brutal tug snapped her head downward, forcing her gaze into the center of the widening shape. Her neck didn't fight. Her shoulders didn't brace. Her body just aligned, like it was being fitted into a mold she didn't recognize. The opening twitched again. A thin ripple slid across its surface, not forming lips, not forming teeth, just tightening into a shape that looked like it was preparing to meet her. Her breath collapsed. The thing inside her didn't pause. A sudden, wrenching pull dragged her closer, her body moving with a precision that felt rehearsed, inevitable. Her spine straightened, her jaw locked, her posture shifted into a position she had never chosen. The opening reacted instantly. It stretched wider, not because it needed to, but because it anticipated the exact angle her body would take. Her pulse spiked. The face twitched again. This time, the movement wasn't shaping itself. It was shaping the space around her. The opening adjusted, tightened, widened, folded, small, violent spasms that made it look like it was preparing to fit around her, like it already knew the outline of her next movement before she even felt it. Her breath broke into fragments. The thing inside her pulled again, and she moved toward the opening like she was being drawn into a space that had already decided exactly how she would fill it. The face didn't wait for her to get closer. It took control of her first. A sharp, violent pull snapped through the hollow inside her chest, not guiding, not adjusting, but claiming, like something inside her had decided her body wasn't moving fast enough. Her spine jerked forward, not a step, not a lean, a drag, like her entire weight had been yanked by a hook buried somewhere she couldn't reach. Her breath stuttered. The thing inside her didn't slow. A cold, mechanical force twisted her shoulders inward, folding her posture into a shape she had never made, a shape her muscles didn't understand, a shape her bones accepted without hesitation. The face reacted instantly, not by shifting, not by forming anything new, by locking onto her. Its eyes, dark, wrong, too aware, tightened in a way that felt like pressure building behind them. Its jawline twitched, not to mimic her, but to command her next movement. Her body obeyed. Her head snapped to the side. Her jaw clenched. Her throat opened in a silent, broken shape that wasn't a scream, wasn't a gasp, just a posture forced out of her like her body was being used to practice something. Her pulse hammered. The thing inside her answered. A brutal pull twisted her torso, dragging her into a position that felt like her body was being folded into a new configuration, not for her, not for the face, but for whatever was controlling both. The face leaned closer, not approaching, not observing, claiming. Its features twitched again, small, sharp spasms that didn't shape it, didn't shape her, didn't shape anything. They asserted something. Her breath collapsed. The thing inside her didn't. It pulled again, and her body moved with a precision that felt final, a motion she didn't choose, didn't understand, didn't even feel like it belonged to her. The face didn't react. It didn't need to. It already had what it wanted. The face didn't wait for her to settle. It forced the next movement into her before she even felt the impulse. A sharp, violent pull snapped through the hollow inside her chest, not guiding, not adjusting, but overriding, like something inside her had decided her body wasn't responding fast enough. Her spine jerked sideways, not a twist, not a bend, a displacement, a direction her body had no reason to move, a direction her bones weren't shaped to follow, a direction her muscles accepted without hesitation. Her breath stuttered. The thing inside her didn't slow. A cold, mechanical force dragged her shoulders backward, folding her posture into a shape that felt like it belonged to something else entirely. Her arms didn't lift, they didn't brace, they just hung, useless, like the idea of control had been removed from them. The face reacted instantly, not by shifting, not by forming anything new, by tightening its focus. Its eyes, dark, wrong, too aware, narrowed in a way that felt like pressure building behind them. Its jawline twitched, not to mimic her, but to assign her next movement. Her body obeyed. Her head snapped forward. Her jaw locked. Her throat opened in a silent, strange shape that wasn't a scream, wasn't a gasp, just a posture forced out of her like her body was being used to test limits. Her pulse hammered. The thing inside her answered. A brutal pull twisted her torso inward, dragging her into a position that felt like her body was being folded into a new configuration, not for her, not for the face, but for whatever was controlling both. The face leaned closer, not approaching, not observing, directing. Its features twitched again, small, sharp spasms that didn't shape it, didn't shape her, didn't shape anything. They dictated something. Her breath collapsed. The thing inside her didn't. It pulled again, and her body moved with a precision that felt impossible, a motion she didn't choose, didn't understand, didn't even feel like it belonged to her. The face didn't react. It didn't need to. It already knew what she would do next. Her body didn't break. It misfired. A sharp, wrong signal shot through her chest, not a pull, not a command, just a sudden interruption, like her body had forgotten how to respond to itself. Her arm twitched upward, then stopped halfway, frozen in a position she had never held. Her breath tried to return. It didn't. Her lungs tightened, not from fear, not from pressure, but from confusion, like they were waiting for instructions that never arrived. Her spine shifted a fraction too far to one side, then locked there, caught between movement and stillness. Her pulse hammered once. Her body didn't react. Her head tilted sharply, but the motion didn't finish. It stalled, hanging at an angle that felt incomplete, like her muscles had started a movement they no longer knew how to complete. Her fingers curled, not fully, not intentionally, just enough to show something inside her had taken over the starting point of the motion, but not the rest. Her body wasn't resisting. It wasn't obeying. It was failing. The face didn't move. It didn't have to. It watched her with the calm certainty of something waiting for her body to stop trying to act like it still belonged to her. Her body didn't try to correct itself. It stopped trying at all. A quiet, decisive stillness settled through her frame, not calm, not frozen, but vacant, like her body had finally realized it no longer had the authority to decide what happened next. Her arm lowered on its own. Not smoothly, not naturally, just a single, deliberate drop, as if something inside her had taken over the part of her that used to choose when to move. Her fingers straightened with a precision she had never felt, each joint aligning like they were being positioned for someone else's use. Her breath didn't return. Her lungs didn't even try. Her head lifted, not halfway, not hesitantly, but fully, cleanly, with a certainty that didn't belong to her. Her gaze locked forward, not searching, not reacting, but receiving, like her eyes were waiting for instructions she wasn't allowed to hear. Her spine adjusted. A small shift, a quiet reset, not a correction of posture, a claim of it. Her body wasn't failing anymore. It wasn't struggling. It was being taken, piece by piece, motion by motion, her frame aligned into a stance that felt practiced, intentional, and entirely foreign. Her shoulders rolled back with mechanical precision. Her jaw tightened into a shape she didn't recognize. There was no hesitation, no resistance, no confusion, just occupation. The thing inside her wasn't pushing her past anything now. It was settling in, and the face watching her didn't react, didn't shift, didn't need to. It could see she wasn't hers anymore. Her body didn't pause after being taken. It activated. A sharp, deliberate shift rolled through her frame, not a twitch, not a correction, but a startup, like something inside her had finished settling in and was now ready to use her without hesitation. Her right foot moved first. Not a step. A placement, exact, measured, like her body was aligning itself to a position she had never learned. Her weight shifted with mechanical certainty, her balance adjusting with a precision that didn't belong to anything human. Her arms followed, not lifting, not reaching, positioning, her hands lowered to her sides with a steadiness that felt rehearsed, each finger aligning like they were being prepared for a task she wasn't allowed to understand. Her breath didn't return, her chest didn't even try. Her head turned sharply toward the face, not to look, not to react, but to receive, like her gaze was now a channel for something she couldn't hear. Her spine straightened, a clean, decisive line. No hesitation, no remnants of her. Her body wasn't being moved anymore. It was operational. Her jaw tightened into a shape that felt like a command. Her shoulders squared with a precision that felt like a signal. Her stance locked into place with the certainty of something that had been waiting to be activated. The face didn't shift. It didn't need to. It could see she was fully under its control, not resisting, not failing, not transitioning. Taken, occupied, functional. Her body stood ready, not for her, for it. Her body didn't wait for a command. It executed. A clean, decisive motion rolled through her frame, not a reaction, not a response, but an action, carried out with the certainty of something that had already decided what she was going to do. Her right hand lifted, not slowly, not cautiously, a sharp, deliberate rise, like her arm had been repurposed for a task she wasn't allowed to witness. Her fingers aligned with mechanical precision, each joint settling into place as if following a blueprint she'd never seen. Her head turned, not toward the face, not toward anything she recognized. Just a sudden, exact shift, like her gaze was being aimed. Her legs moved next, not stepping, not walking, positioning. Her body aligned itself with a purpose she couldn't feel, couldn't sense, couldn't even guess at. Her weight shifted with perfect balance, her stance locking into place like she was preparing for something she would never understand. Her breath didn't return, her chest didn't even try. Her jaw tightened into a shape that felt like a signal. Her shoulders squared with a precision that felt like a command. Her spine straightened with the certainty of something that had taken full ownership. She wasn't being used anymore. She was operational. The face didn't move. It didn't need to. It watched her with the calm certainty of something that had finished taking her and was now watching its new body carry out its first action. Whatever she did next wouldn't come from her. Her body didn't hesitate. It moved with intent, not hers, not borrowed, but fully claimed. A sharp, deliberate shift rolled through her frame. Her right hand rose again, this time with absolute certainty, like it had been waiting for the moment it could act without interruption. Her fingers aligned into a precise shape, each joint settling into place with mechanical confidence. Her head followed. A clean, exact turn, not searching, not reacting, but targeting, like her gaze had been recalibrated for a purpose she would never know. Her legs repositioned, not stepping, not walking, aligning. Her stance tightened into something stable, grounded, ready, a posture that felt like preparation, not movement. Her breath didn't return. Her chest didn't even try. Her shoulders rolled back with a smoothness that felt practiced, like her body had been waiting for this configuration. Her spine locked into a straight, controlled line. Her jaw tightened into a shape that felt like a signal. She wasn't being moved anymore. She was executing. Her left hand lifted next, slow, deliberate, intentional, mirroring the right with perfect symmetry. Her arms held steady, balanced, as if bracing for something she wasn't allowed to witness. The face didn't shift. It didn't need to. It watched her with the calm certainty of something that had finished taking her and was now watching its new body prepare for whatever came next. Her body stood ready, not for her, for it. Her body didn't wait. It initiated. A clean, decisive motion rolled through her frame, not a reaction, not a test, but the first step of something already planned. Her right hand shifted forward with a precision that felt engineered, her fingers tightening into a shape that looked like intention, not instinct. Her head followed. A sharp, exact turn, not toward the face, not toward anything she recognized, but toward a point only the thing inside her could see. Her gaze locked there, steady, unblinking, like her eyes had been reassigned to a new purpose. Her legs moved next, not stepping, not walking, advancing. A single, controlled shift of weight carried her forward, her posture locked into a stance that felt like execution, not movement. Her arms adjusted with mechanical certainty, aligning her frame into a position that looked prepared, ready, activated. Her breath didn't return. Her chest didn't even try. Her shoulders squared. Her spine tightened. Her jaw locked into a shape that felt like a command being held in place. She wasn't responding to anything. She was carrying out something. The face didn't move. It didn't need to. It watched her with the calm certainty of something that had finished taking her and was now watching its new body begin its first task. Whatever she was about to do wasn't hers, and it had already begun. Her body didn't slow. It followed through. A sharp, deliberate motion rolled down her right arm, not a twitch, not a correction, but a decision, carried out with the certainty of something that had already chosen the outcome. Her hand extended forward, fingers aligning with mechanical precision, like they were marking a point only the thing inside her could see. Her head shifted next. A clean, exact tilt, not curious, not cautious, but calibrated, like her gaze was being adjusted to match whatever her body was about to do. Her legs advanced, not stepping, not walking, executing. A single, controlled movement carried her forward, her posture locked into a stance that felt like a command being carried out. Her weight settled with perfect balance, her frame aligning into a position that looked ready, not for her, but for the thing using her. Her breath didn't return. Her chest didn't even try. Her shoulders tightened into a steady, braced line. Her spine locked into a straight, controlled posture. Her jaw held the same silent, rigid shape, a signal frozen in place. She wasn't preparing anymore. She was performing. Her left hand lifted with the same cold precision, mirroring the right, forming a posture that felt intentional, practiced, and entirely foreign. Her arms held steady, balanced, as if bracing for the next phase of something she wasn't allowed to witness. The face didn't move. It didn't need to. It watched her with the calm certainty of something that had finished taking her and was now watching its new body carry out its first real action. Whatever she did next would happen without her. Her body didn't pause. It completed the action with the same cold certainty that had taken everything from her. Her right hand lowered into a precise position, fingers aligning like they were locking into place. Her left arm followed, mirroring the motion with perfect, unnatural symmetry. Her head lifted, not to see, not to react, but to signal that whatever had replaced her was finished preparing. A quiet stillness settled through her frame, not calm, not frozen, but ready, like her body had become a vessel waiting for its next instruction. Her spine held straight, her shoulders stayed squared, her jaw remained locked in that silent, rigid shape. Her breath never returned, her chest didn't even try. Her body stood there, fully claimed, fully operational, fully obedient, a shape she no longer lived in, a presence she no longer shared. The face didn't move. It didn't need to. It watched her with the calm certainty of something that had taken exactly what it wanted and was already deciding what to do with her next. Episode 30 ends with her body standing ready, not for her, but for whatever owns her now.